Hey! All right.
Technology.
In action. Shall we roll?
Yeah, we shall.
You're listening to another edition of We Came From the Basement. We are Jason and Sean, and you guessed it, we came from the basement, and we're coming at you from Radio NL, 610 AM Kamloops. We came from the basement, motherfucker. We came from the basement, motherfucker. We came from the basement, motherfucker. We came from the basement, motherfuckers.
It always makes me smile. I don't know if the guys at Radio NL know that that's our theme song.
I'm not sure if they do or not, actually. But
For all the listeners everywhere, Radio NL is an AM station in our town. It's still a rad station. It's awesome, but it's not as edgy as we are.
No, which was surprising when they even asked us to come on their show.
So yeah,
Right?
We were like, hey, do you want to be on Radio NL? And I was thinking about how much we would have to dial back what we do.
Oh, and you know what? Every time I go on with Howie, and you go on, I'm sure this happens to you too, Sean, I'm saying things, and I'm editing myself as I go along. Because I'm about to say, oh, this fucking asshole, and I say, oh, this guy. Or, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Oh, that was just a stupid idea, I thought. And it's constant. The whole 8 to 10 minutes we're on.
I just go into a different mode so that I actually don't swear when we go there.
Well, you have to deal with the public on your job frequently, right? So you're pretty good at self-editing, I'm sure.
That's
Frustrating.
An understatement.
So what have you been up to? We've been off the air for a few weeks here due to various reasons. You had a good time though. You had a good excuse to be off doing stuff.
I went to Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
The wife and I and her parents, they were running a marathon, her mom and her.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there to spend some money, have some fun, see some stuff, and do some things. And we did a lot, and we didn't do all, but...
And you had your first alcoholic beer in a very long time.
Yes, I actually did. It was kind of nice. It was troubling.
Troubling? How so?
I sat down at New York, after I dropped them off to run the race. I sat down at New York, on one of the tables to watch people go by because what I like to do is this is what I do.
You people watch.
And I was sitting there eating my salad because I was still being good. And I bought one of those giant cans of beer from Walgreens. I thought, fuck it, if I'm going to go in, I'm going to go in.
Absolutely.
So I'm sitting by the escalator watching people go down. I'm like kind of giggling and chuckling at some of the things I was seeing.
I could just see this large guy. The table, right?
I drink this beer. I eat this fruit salad or whatever it was. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm pretty lightheaded from that beer. And it went down like honey because I also haven't had sugar in over a year and a half. And so it was pretty smooth, pretty easy going. And I stood up and I'm like, ooh, the escalator is going to be a problem.
Oh, Jesus.
One beer. And so, yeah, it was good. It was good.
Did you do the moving sidewalk, though?
I did do it, even though I knew it was going to be a challenge. And then the other people around me, I could kind of hear. I wasn't totally going. I was having difficulties.
Yeah.
And I feel like the guy can't even navigate a sidewalk that moves slowly. I was like, fuck you, I'd kick your ass if I could figure out how to get off the goddamn thing. But no, it was good.
That's awesome.
And I know you had some stuff you had to deal with too, so we did take a break.
We did. We took a break, but we're back now. And of course, this is happening. We like to time travel here in the basement, so we're doing the extended cut podcast now, which is going to air on Sunday.
And you've already pre-recorded, Cameron, another part of the segment for this that we're going to edit in tomorrow.
Right, which is actually going to broadcast tomorrow morning at 8:40 on Radio NL, the bit that I did with Howie. Are you confused?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, I
was
know.
confused for a minute for that. I was like,
Dude.
How can we broadcast if I don't have it to put it in tonight? So
But that's okay.
For everybody else listening, we're also doing a Facebook Live event, so we're going
First
to have
time.
to do it a little bit differently as we record the show because we take a break when we say, oh, here's the segment from NL, and since we don't have it, we're just going to jump into the next segment anyway.
It'll come after the segment that you'll hear when you listen on Sunday.
But it'll all be an editing miracle, magical, wonderful thing.
You'll never know the fucking difference.
And we don't give a fuck if you do.
Right, exactly.
So, movie news.
Yeah, big news this
sad.
week happened on sad news. Stan Lee, of course, the creator of Marvel Comics, passed away. 95.
Right.
that's pretty good. And we all know how well Stan Lee was doing because he kept appearing in the Marvel movies and that kind of thing. He was going strong. And I mean, and here's this is the way I look at it. And Howie and I talked about it a bit. But think of DC Comics. DC Comics, the characters were all created by a bunch of different people. Marvel, Stan Lee did like 75% of them. Like one man was responsible. And now you look at like the movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he did all of that's his legacy. Like what a legacy for one man to leave behind.
Totally. And I mean, it's iconic. It's everything you could. I mean, I was even thinking the guy's like the Hugh Hefner of comics, but he's beyond that. I mean, it'll last forever.
It will. Cool. The comics will.
The superheroes, the
superheroes, the
character,
the mythology. Like he kind of created our modern folk tale. Really, I think that's the way I look at it, anyways.
Totally.
So that was a pretty big blow to the industry here, and it's funny, Sean, as we're getting advanced in our ages, a lot of the people that influenced our lives are passing on, right? Yeah. And I'm kind of looking at the world around us and who's creating nowadays, and it's just, is there anyone creating stuff now that's going to have as big an impact?
Yes, but don't all old people say stuff like that?
We do,
people
sonny
today
boy.
don't know shit.
That's right.
Back in my day, it was way better. But I don't know. We just have to wait and see.
I think so. Yeah.
I think every era has a person, has a few people that step up, step out, and leave a legacy that lasts forever, and that's cool. I'm hoping we can be, at least a small portion of that.
Legacyers, kind of like we're doing our thing. We've been doing this 8 years now.
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years. Yeah. More hundreds of episodes, 3 radio stations. An internet radio station, and in our own stuff off of WeCameFromTheBasement.com.
And now we're just in the basement, Facebook Live.
That's right.
Oh yeah, and NL, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. Yeah. So should we jump into the mighty NL segment that is going to air tomorrow morning at 8:40 on the AM dial?
Sure thing.
We'll do that now. We'll come back after the jump with a bunch of other cool shit we'll talk about.
All right.
Here we go. We are inserting said segment now.
No, we're not. And
here we go.
And we're back. That was Jay and Howie at Radio NL talking about all that cool stuff they talked about.
Yep. It was so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. We did talk about Stan Lee. What's coming out this weekend? Which, I don't know, Sean. Like, this is kind of, we had our big movie weekends, but we're kind of going into the fall season now. So the new Fantastic Beasts is coming out this weekend, which my wife is excited. She's actually going to go see it with one of her friends, which I think is great. Have you watched that? Like, did your kids like the Harry Potter and get into that? No, didn't care. Could care less. Nope, didn't care. I didn't either. I tried reading the books and I watched the first 3 movies with my wife as a sign of good faith because I made her watch Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah.
So it's payback.
For guys like us, for me particularly, it was too much story, not enough magic wanding the shirts off of girls to show boobies.
Well, if that had happened, I would have been all over that. Like that would, yeah.
But yeah, there is this big, magical, wonderful universe with cool stuff happening, but the characters weren't doing a lot of cool things.
Because they were kids, right? The Goonies did a lot more than Harry Potter in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I wanted to point that out.
Fair enough.
And if everybody out there in Facebook land doesn't know who the Goonies are, fuck you. I just have to say that.
Millennials.
Does Facebook Live allow swearing, or will we get completely pulled?
I don't know.
We'll find out soon enough. Yeah. What else could we go on here? Okay, we watched Haunted, which was a Netflix series that dropped right before Halloween. Not The Haunting of Hill House.
Nope.
It's Haunted, and it was 6 stories. It was 6 episodes that were basically allegedly true stories.
Yes.
From it. And Sean and I like to think of ourselves as kind of professional debunkers of things, if we can. We always like to come up with something. And these episodes, for one, I'd like to say from an entertaining TV standpoint, they were good. They were creepy. There was the one, remember the daughters whose dad was a serial killer and killed a bunch of people there. There was the kid that was followed by that spirit that was trying to kill him. There was the woman who was basically kind of possessed by Charles, I think was the ghost's name.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. There's a UFO episode.
I don't remember that one very much. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah.
The one interesting thing about all of these is that in each case, and it's well presented, the person comes in with family and friends and he kind of tells their story and they do these really good reenactments that are really quite scary. But every case dealt with people dealing with trauma of some kind.
In their life. Physical, mental abuse.
Yeah, every single one.
Yep.
And I mean, I like to go out and hunt ghosts in my free time.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that. And it is a common theme. So what I'm wondering about is are these really ghosts, or are people actually going, and this is how they're coping?
Inventing a whole universe to escape.
Very nice to be finding Nemo into this.
Yeah.
Oh, dark subject matter. But yeah, like, is that what people are doing? Like, what do you think, Sean? I mean, there was definitely that pattern in these stories, dealing with an abusive dad, or going out late at night and then saying that this spirit scared these would-be rapists away. But was there actually an assault that took place
On
in
a
the mind
much
doing
more
it?
complicated scale, I believe it's kind of like in Liar Liar, the woman with the crazy hairdo. Anything to detract from your face. So
true.
they
Yeah.
make up these stories to take away from the stuff that has happened in their lives and to try to gain attention for a different reason rather than the reasons they had the attention when
Yep.
they were growing up with the abuse or whatnot. I'm not a professional, but reading people is kind of my thing.
Yep.
And man, how many normal people and people who've had just regular, ordinary lives, that good, satisfying, happy, how many of them have got these wicked ghost stories?
Well, and that I was actually wondering about that, because I've had experiences, right, with ghosts. But honestly, none of them really started to happen until after my father passed away. Coincidence? I don't know. But it's, you know what I mean? But that was the thing that I came up with too. Yeah. So is it, do these experiences open you up to something more, or are you covering up for them? Or trying to, you know what I mean? It was really interesting. But no, it was a good series though. Like, as far as television goes, it was a really good series.
Sure.
Entertaining.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I did too. And in the last episode, we saw boobies.
We saw boobies.
So we were
not
happy
even ghost boobies, like boobies.
Remember that? What was that? We watched a movie with ghosts. There was like, what was that, Ghost Team 1 or something like that? Remember? And the guy wanted to have sex with the ghost? Be the first person to have sex with a ghost?
See, this is where you invent a whole new story to cover up something bad that's happened in your life.
That's right.
But yeah. Oh, before we move on.
Yep.
So on the plane ride back, I believe I sent you a picture of the movie I was going to watch.
Yes.
One of your most all-time hated movies.
Punisher Warzone, man. Fuck
Punisher.
that movie.
I wanted to give it a new look with the new experiences we've had in doing this kind of whole movie review.
Because you liked it pre-doing even the show.
Yeah, so I just wanted to see if all of the movies I've watched and all of the things we've critiqued and all of the things we stand for still exist.
Yeah.
In a really rudimentary, simple way. And I still enjoyed the shit out of the movie. I gotta tell you, I almost watched it twice. I wish the plane ride was a little rough, so I just rewound parts so I could watch the guy shoot the
Well, the parkour guy that gets blown up. Yeah.
Missile launcher and stuff. So it's a very. I see where you are though now that we've critiqued about 1,000 trillion movies. I don't even know that that's a number that exists.
It does now.
It does now.
Because we have seen 1,000 trillion movies in the last 8 years.
But in respect to how the story is built and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty blah.
Yeah.
But it makes up for it in some of the violence. Like, I mean, I have to see someone punch another guy's face in. I've seen people, and I've punched people.
Oh, yes.
But I've never caved their skull in. Like, put my fist right to the back of the other side of their skull.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
That is cool. And that does happen in that movie.
So
I admit the one thing that did disappoint me in the film, well, I mean, there's a lot that did, but was the poor guy getting blown up. Because I kind of expected this epic where the guy's leaping midair and then he just explodes in this mess. But he doesn't. You see him in the air and the missile kind of comes out of stream, spinning, and then it just this fireball. At least that's how I remember it. Was it still just a fireball, or did he just kind of go, whoa?
No,
I hit the mic, sorry.
There's some goo.
There's a big goo?
There's a bit of goo.
I don't remember a lot of goo, so.
Yeah, I guess if you didn't like the story and the violence was also subpar, why watch it?
Well, yeah, and especially now that we've got this brilliant John Barenthal Punisher series on Netflix, which just kills everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I still liked it.
That's great. No, I think that's fantastic. You should.
There's only one wheel and clog moving in my head, not multiples like a watch or anything.
No.
It's one mode, it's one speed,
Yeah.
it's one level. There's no more to me. That's just it.
Well, and that's one of the many things I admire about you, sir.
Just take everything for as it is. But there was good enough gore.
Oh yeah, no, and there's parts to it that's really good. It just didn't blow my skirt up.
He just walked around killing people that sucked.
Yeah,
And I'm okay with that. I
That's-
mean, in my imaginary world, in real life, you know, killing people to make the world a better place really, literally does the opposite. We had a guy that tried that once, and it kind of sucked. So.
it backfired horribly on him.
But yeah, Punisher Warzone, I dug still, man.
Well,
So
that's all.
sorry.
You and Boza loved it, right? I mean, I'd like to go back and revisit some of those.
You're not going back to this one.
No, I won't. Nor that ninja one.
Ninja one.
That ninja assassin or whatever it was. You guys quite like you and Boza.
Okay, that was awesome too.
I just couldn't get into that.
That's
I don't know
okay.
why. It's sad. It makes me sad. I wish I could. Too many cogs spinning around inside this head. Maybe.
Yeah, I only have the one.
Yeah, I got
It's
2 or
easy.
400, I think.
2 or 4.
Well, before we wrap up here, tying into our haunted
Mm-hmm.
conversation, we did have a UFO sighting here in Kamloops recently that was caught on film
Yeah,
and made the news.
yeah,
We have reviewed said footage.
yep.
What do you think that is?
I have no idea. It's a UFO. It is truly unidentified to me. Do I think it is an alien spaceship from another world playing peekaboo amongst the clouds? If you go to Kamloops website, somewhere news, look up UFO, you'll find the video.
We'll probably even post it on our page here.
It's a great video. I mean, out of all the stupid shaky camera videos that we've even tested our own and sent shaky videos. The phones now self-correct that shit anyway.
You can't make a shaky video anymore.
Why
Like,
are we
you
still
cannot.
seeing those? But this one wasn't. It was pretty clear, and you kind of had the opportunity to not get seasick while trying to explore what this might be.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I can't say, well, it's not this, because I don't know what it is.
We don't
so
know.
I can't say what it isn't.
And a friend of mine, she looked at it, and she is a professional paranormal investigator, and she sent me something. It's these birds that move in these formations,
Yeah.
right? Where they kind of
Starlings.
yeah, they do this thing, and it kind of looks a bit like that, but behind clouds. But the clouds obscure that, so we're not quite sure. Or it could be like a reflection off of a plane.
Nah, it's too dark.
Too dark
But
for a
I
plane
did.
reflection?
I just that I sent when I flew to Vegas. One of the planes we were on, we were kind of flying kind of away from the sun, and the sun was bouncing off the plane and reflecting a hot spot onto the clouds. The cloud layer wasn't very thick, and I'd wondered because we made a slight turn, and that sunspot fucking shot across the clouds, but still stayed
Yeah.
like a bright hot spot on my side of the clouds. I can't imagine what that would look like to someone underneath. Like I said, it was a very thin layer of cloud, maybe 100 feet,
Yeah.
if that. Because when we went through it, we whoop, popped right up through it, and it just was a thin layer. So, I mean, that's just something I noticed because we do dig that paranormal
Oh,
and
absolutely.
UFO kind of stuff. And how would that look from the other side? Because that plane moves a little bit, and that reflection shoots quite a distance in a very quick amount of time, right?
Absolutely.
Like taking a mirror and just you
Oh yeah,
move
we've
a
done
little
that. We
bit,
played
it's
with
like,
that.
wow. So I just thought that might be something if we ever think of what we've seen in the skies that
Yep.
might be an alien spaceship coming for an invasion. But this particular one in Kamloops, I you know what, I can't say what it is. I can't say what it isn't.
And that is what a UFO is. Everyone thinks UFO means alien. It just means it's an unidentified flying object. We don't know what it is.
Could it be the birds? That's the most likely. But
That's what I was thinking.
They kind of fly screwy, and the cloud cover was pretty low that day too, and it very well could be. Do we have starlings?
I don't
in
know.
Kamloops?
People out there in Facebook land, do we have starlings in Kamloops?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can add, Nathan Boza said something.
Oh, we're gonna read comments. I thought that's too far. I'm too old for this shit.
Dude, that movie sucked. Ninja Assassin. See, even Boza, Nathan,
The older brother.
the older brother, agrees with me.
Yeah, well, there you go. You guys graduated together. You probably smoked the same reefer at one point.
Probably we did.
Added an extra clog.
Added 200 more clogs
No.
to the brain.
Okay.
All right then.
Fine.
It's still a tie. You and Boza Jr. liked it.
It doesn't
and
matter.
Me and Boza Sr. didn't. That's
Opinions are awesome that way.
It is.
doesn't matter.
That's why I'm a Star
not
Wars
right or
guy
wrong.
and you're a Star Trek guy.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it all.
Right.
Well, anyways, this was our great Facebook Live experiment. We'll do it again next week. We'll keep doing it. People are watching.
I think.
There's
what do
2
we
so
got?
far.
We got 2.
That's all right. We didn't announce it. We didn't promote it. I will promote it next time.
Yeah, it's
We're
easy
gonna
enough
do
to
it. It's
do.
fun, yeah.
We might
It's fun.
toss them up on YouTube too.
Well, yes, I think we're gonna take our stuff and YouTube it as well. We're trying to. In a few months, I'm going to be able to dedicate more time to this. So we are going to make a move to YouTube and that kind of stuff. You seem deep in thought, Sean.
I am deep in thought.
That doesn't happen often. What are you deeply thinking about?
how far the cog has to turn before it reaches a kilometer. I went out.
Fuck, that's awesome. Anyways, so tune in tomorrow to Radio NL.
Yep.
To hear the NL segment, 8:40 a.m., 6:10 a.m. We have a link off of our website at wecamefromthebasement.com. This cast will be up. Actually, I think I'm going to put it up Saturday morning because it's my son's birthday party Sunday morning.
Yep.
Might be pressed for time. And we'll be back next week with more shenanigans in the basement. Until then, follow us on the social medias here on Facebook, wecamefromthebasement.com, Twitter, all that cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so until next time, we'll see you in the basement.
Basement. That's it.
That was it. Thank you, everyone out in Facebook Live land.